Welcome back to part 2 of my top 10 changes at Center Parcs for your 2026 stay. We started the countdown in the last video, and I'll be honest, I had to split it into 2. Not for dramatic effect, just because it was taking me far longer to make than expected. Turns out talking about Center Parcs for 15 minutes straight is harder than it sounds. Let's quickly recap where we got to. So at number 10, booking window changes. At number 9, activity price reductions. At 8, adventure nets. At 7, the new leisure bowl. And at 6, the early risers spa session. Now, let's get into the top 5 changes at Center Parcs, starting with number 5. At number 5, lodge renaming. And honestly, this has been a long time coming. I still remember when they were called comfort villas. Then things got weird. Same number of bedrooms, you could choose between what felt like endless variations. Executive Lodge 2-story. New Style Executive Lodge. Woodland Lodge Plus. New Style Woodland Lodge. All for 3 bedrooms, sometimes 4, with price differences of £10 or £20 and no clear explanation why. Booking became a bit of a detective exercise, and countless hours have been wasted trying to work out the subtle differences between near identical accommodations. Now, with the new naming structure, a typical break means around 5 accommodation types. So while the renaming initially confused people, the result is actually a far more efficient and transparent booking experience. It's clearer, more detailed, and far less overwhelming. So thumbs up from us on this one. At number 4, the new look lodges. And I haven't stayed in one yet. The rollout has only just begun, and it's currently limited to certain villages. Some guests have even received emails before their stay, saying the refurbishment won't be ready in time. Historically, when lodges were upgraded, the changes were fairly minimal. A different rug, a new sofa, a flat screen TV, and more recently, electric fires. This time, it's different. These changes are significant. For me, this completely changes the nostalgia. The space feels smaller. And one thing I didn't realise I'd miss is the bar between the kitchen and living area. Can't quite explain why it mattered, but it almost felt like another seat in the room. That said, let's be fair. It's modern, it's clean, it's slick. And honestly, it needed refreshing. It was starting to look tired. I just hope they've remembered the basics, like a full set of kitchen utensils would be nice. But aside from that, there are some really nice upgrades here. The outdoor heating on the Grand Forest lodges is something I didn't know we needed. Suddenly, winter stays seem far more appealing. The bedrooms also seem to have a bit more character. There are just a couple of things that I'm not fully sold on yet. Like that curved sofa. I'm not convinced the lounging potential is quite the same here. This one, I'm still undecided, but I have a feeling it'll turn out well. Number 3, staggered lodge entry times. This is genuinely fantastic news, and honestly, it just makes complete sense. Traditionally, everyone arrived at 4 p.m, but the cleaners start from 10 a.m, so realistically, a lot of lodges are ready well before that. So why bring everyone in at the same time? If you've ever arrived at 4 p.m, you'll remember the traffic, the queues, the chaos. You could pay for early arrival, and we did that every year. Our little hack was headed straight to the pool, while everyone else was sat in the 4 p.m. traffic. Now, arrivals are staggered properly. From 1 p.m, 2 p.m, 3 p.m, through to 4 p.m, depending on the lodge that you have. On our last visit, we got in at 1 p.m, the earliest we've ever been in our lodge. And it completely changes how your arrival day feels. Arrive at 10 a.m, do a few activities, and then suddenly you're in your lodge by lunchtime. Before, it could be 5 p.m, and everything just felt rushed. This gives you time back. So it's a big thumbs up from us. At number 2, Arena Tag Challenge. This one is currently exclusive to Sherwood Forest, and it's one of the most fun new activities Center Parcs has introduced in a long time. The concept is simple. You're in an indoor arena, running around, tagging illuminated targets to score points. It's basically a mix between laser tag and an obstacle course. We tried this on our most recent visit, and honestly, we loved it. There are loads of different challenges and obstacles. It's pretty relentless, but in a really enjoyable way. You can go at your own pace, but once you start chasing a high score, the energy just ramps up. You end up rushing around, competing, laughing. It is chaos in the best possible way. And the half-pipe section is probably the highlight for us. It works really well for families with older kids and teenagers. The only downside really is that it's currently limited to just one village. If it rolls out across the others, it'll be a huge addition. This one we really like. At number 1, the biggest change at Center Parcs this year, the pool closing earlier. It used to be open until 10 p.m, then 9 p.m, and now it closes at 8 p.m. And for me, this is a big downgrade. I've been coming to Center Parcs since 1998, and night swimming was one of the best parts of the trip. Less busy, quieter, dark outside, just going around the rapids over and over again. But the real issue isn't just losing that late swim, it's that you're losing an hour every single day. And that time was always included, it was part of the package. So when you're already paying a premium to stay, and paying extra for activities, losing time in the one thing that's included, it starts to feel like you're getting less. And spare a thought for anyone arriving late on day 1. You might not get to use the pool at all. Now, to be fair, this does benefit a lot of families. If you've got young children, being able to go at 9 a.m. is huge. You're up early anyway, and now you can actually use the main attraction straight away. It's quieter, easier, and it helps set up the day properly. But that depends on your situation, and for a lot of guests, the trade-off just isn't worth it. Simple fix, extend the hours maybe on Mondays and Fridays. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if people would even pay for a late swim slot. But overall, this feels like less value for your stay, and that's why it is number 1. So, that's my top 10. And just to be clear, this isn't necessarily the best 10 changes. These are the biggest changes you'll notice heading into your 2026 stay. And you might not agree with the order, and honestly, I'm not even sure I agree with it myself anymore. And none of these changes, even the negative ones, will stop us visiting the parks this year. In fact, we've got 3 more visits planned over the course of the year. So stay tuned for those videos. But I'd love to know, would your list look completely different? And what would your number 1 be? Either way, park yourself here and stick around for more.